I'm Allison DuBois.
And I'm Tom McMullen.
And we're here to talk about free will. This involves readings that we both conduct. I do what I call life readings as well as mediumship, but I find free will particularly important in the life readings that I do. It's usually career, relationships, your children, your parents, your health, your own abilities, whatever's impacting you right now. But it does take a little action from the client in following up with the information I give them in order to bring a change or the result that they'd like to have in their life. Often I'll have women say to me, am I going to have a baby? And I'm like, well, isn't that kind of up to you? I mean, you're the one that has to, you actually have to have sex in order to do that. So, it just depends on who you're talking to, who the client is. But often they'll be single, nobody's in their life, they're maybe 44, and they want to know if they're going to have a baby. So then the free will becomes a little bit more where they have to take more drastic measures in order to make that happen. But I do find that in readings, the free will that's involved with, am I going to get married? Am I going to have a baby? Am I going to move? Requires the client to actually be active in that situation in order to get to where they desire to be in their life. Do you find that as well in your readings?
As an astrologer, I get a chart, a birth chart, and it's really the story you bring into this life to work on. And so there's many directions we can take with the energy that comes with us. And the example I always use is when people ask me about, what about twins? Won't they have the same outcome? And the answer is no, they won't. They come in with very identical charts and very identical energies in their patterns. But the thing is, we have so many directions we can take, but there's really only two. And that is to take your energy and to construct with it or destruct with it. And so do you play the victim in your life and then you withdraw within on it and become more the destructive, or do you become responsible for improving yourself through those issues and moving on? And as I feel in terms of when I look at somebody in a situation, when I give them, this is your year, this is what's going to go on, that they can say, well, I want to do this. And I'd say, well, it's there, the window's open. Your chart says it's open to take advantage of that. But at the end of the day, it's up to them to take the risk. And if they don't, it usually doesn't happen.
I find that also with career questions that I get. I will tell people, I don't see you staying in the state that you're in. The energy's kind of died for you there. That's the universe's way of sending you in another direction and say, try something else. So I suggest they send their resume out to states that they are interested in starting a life in, or that they vibe with, the place they'd really like to be. So if they don't send that resume out, my information's not going to help them very much. And I just find that some people, like you said, the fear stops them. They're like, well, I have this job and it's steady, but my life isn't where I want it to be and I'm not happy. So what I would say to them is, if you're not happy, that's really the nexus of what life is supposed to be about. We're here for such a short time. If you're in a place where you're unhappy, send out the resume until you get that other job, and then you can resign from where you're at. But if you're not going to take a leap of faith and try and create a new existence, a better existence for you, then nothing's going to change. So for all of you that are watching this, I want you to remember that moving forward in your life, that life is really too short to settle in relationships, to settle with living in a place that you're not happy, to settle for a career that you dread every day getting out of bed and going to. It's up to you. The door's open, like Tom said, but you have to walk through those doors. So in our readings, we can guide you and we can direct you, but it's up to you ultimately.
And I remember my own experience when I was in my 20s, and I was interested in these subjects. I was interested in astrology, and I remember I went to a psychic quite a few times, and she'd always say, you're to be an astrologer, Tom. And it's like, at the time, it's like, there's no way I would be an astrologer. I'm a male baby boomer. I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'm supposed to be a doctor, lawyer, or something like that. And so, I didn't go in that. I just studied it. And then around the age of 30, people started coming to me to do their charts. And then it was like I resisted it for 15 years. And then I finally realized this is what I'm here to do. And finally the fear went away, and I let that decision and that desire that was in me to finally take over, and the rest is history. Here I am.
And I had a psychic actually tell me when I was getting ready to graduate and I was studying for my LSATs to be the lawyer that we all know I didn't become. And she said, you were born to teach. And I'm like, I don't really have a lot of patience with small children. I just don't. And so I couldn't really see it. And she's like, you're going to be a teacher. You're going to teach people. And I had gotten a degree in political science and history. That was no direction that I was headed in. And I ended up becoming a medium that teaches people about life and death and how to live a better life and how to prepare for the other side.
There it is. It's like you're in charge of your destiny. It's there for you. It's for people like us to give you the understanding of what it could be if you would just follow your own gut and instinct. Because that's all we're really tapping into, is what your desires are that we sort of psychically pick up. And so it's, at the end of the day, it's your choice in life.
I also find that it's very helpful when it comes to direction of life and with free will. I have a lot of people ask me what their calling is. And not everybody has what you would deem a calling. Some people are asked to do more than others in their life, and you're put here for that reason. And some people are here to enjoy the ride. I'm so jealous because they don't have nearly the stress. But we're all here serving different purposes in the world. And as far as how you're going to find that calling or what your passion is, what do you care about? Do you care about seniors? Do you care about children, animals? Like, what are you drawn to? So if you don't feel a calling to a particular profession, you need to look within to what makes your heart skip a beat, to what makes you feel alive when you engage with that dog or that person that you help and you made their day better. Some people are born to help others, and they change their lives for the better, and that too is a calling, really. Everybody has some purpose, and it's up to you to find out what yours is, and that starts with looking within.
Absolutely. And I understand that people have sometimes many gifts and talents that are buried within them, and they're not sure what direction to go into. And especially if you're in your 20s, just pick one and try it. Yeah. It really, life is like peeling away an onion, and you just get to the core and the layers. You know, I had many different talents I could do in this life, and I tried a little bit of all of them, but then the one that I stuck with was the most unconventional, which suits me at the end of the day. But, you know, again, just try, just take the risk. That's what your life's about.
That's very true, and sometimes your life changes as you get older, where you start out in one place, yep, as you did, as I did, where you are developing yourself, your character, who you're to become. And it's very important that you start somewhere. So like Tom said, you have to take the risk, but aside from that, you have to have faith. You have to have faith in yourself, and you have to have faith in the universe that you're going to be guided, and that when you get there, you're going to know what to do. And I guarantee if you try, you'll know what to do. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to see more content like this.